expiry of your permit,
utarudi nyumbani.
There are two types of Canada work permit. Number one, we have employer specific work permit, and also we do have open work permits. So as the names suggests, employer specific work permit only allows you to work for a particular employer in a certain location in a certain province in Canada. So you cannot work for any other employer. You have to work within those sets standards. Meanwhile, when we talk about open work permits, these are permits that allow you to work for any employer within Canada, in any province. Okay, so those are the two major types. Those are the two types of work permits that we have. Canada work permit is granted to individuals who have secured a job in Canada or who have contracts with employers in Canada, and so you cannot get a work permit without having an employment offer or a job offer or a contract with an employer in Canada. So the employer also has to provide an LMIA, which is a labor market impact assessment from Employment and Social Development Canada, also known as ESDC. So this LMIA proves that the employer cannot find a local employee or somebody who is a permanent resident or who is a Canadian citizen to work or to do the same job in Canada, and so they have to employ a foreign worker to come fill that vacancy. Okay, so when we talk about Canada work permit, this permit allows you to come to Canada with your family. So what I mean is yourself, your spouse, and your children. Your parents are not part of this, but once you become a Canadian resident or citizen, then you can sponsor your parents to come to Canada also as permanent residents. Got it? So it only allows you to come to Canada with your nuclear family, if I'm not wrong. And speaking of nuclear family, your children will be allowed to go to schools in Canada without having to apply for a separate student permit or visa, and your spouse is also allowed to apply for an open work permit, and so he or she can work in Canada. Got it? Eligibility criteria: you must show that you have a job offer or an employment contract with a Canadian employer. This is very important. Without this, we cannot make any progress. So you must have obtained or secured a job offer, and you have a contract with a Canadian employer. And I have talked about how you can apply for jobs in Canada. I will leave a link up above talking about the current jobs that are available, how to apply, where to apply for such jobs, so that you can get a job with an employer in Canada. You also must show proof that you will leave Canada when your permit expires. So this is a temporary work permit, and so when it expires, you must show that proof that you will go back to your country. And how do you show this proof? You can show this proof by showing properties that you have back in your country, or family members that you have back in your country, or staff that you want to achieve within a certain period back in your country. Or even children if you don't want to come with them to Canada. So you must show proof that upon expiry of your permit, utarudi nyumbani. Okay, if you didn't understand that language I just said, you go back home after expiry of your permit. You must show proof that you have enough funds to cater for yourself and your family who are coming with you to Canada. Okay, so this amount varies, and I'm just gonna show you how much you need, depending on the number of dependents you have or are coming with you to Canada. Shall we? Okay, so as I said, proof of funds depend on the number of dependents or the number of family members are accompanying you to Canada. And so if you're only one individual, say you're not married, have no spouse, no side chicks, no mpango wa kando, no nothing, then you'll be needed to provide proof of about 13,213 Canadian dollars. If you're two of you, say just you and your spouse, you need 16,449 Canadian dollars. If you're three of you, say maybe you, your spouse, and your child, one child, you need 20,222 Canadian dollars. If you're four, a family of four, 24,553 Canadian dollars. If you're five of you, 27,000, and so the figure keeps going up. After the seventh member of the family, then each additional member, that is the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and so on, will be required to pay an additional 3,560. So let's say, for example, like if you're eight of you in your family, then you'll be required to pay the 34,967 Canadian dollars for the 7 family members, and then for the 8th member you will have to add 3,560 Canadian dollars. Let's say if you're 9 people, then you pay the 7th. Up to the 7th member of your family, you will have to pay that 4,967, and then for the 2 others you'll have to pay 3,560 times 2, which is 9 people, and so it's calculated that way. So that's the amount that is required for you to provide proof of. You must not have any criminal record, and hence you must provide a police clearance certificate showing that you have a clean bill of record. Okay, you must also not be a danger to Canadian population, and so again that is tied with the police clearance that you need to provide. You must be in an excellent health condition, and hence a medical report may be required. Other requirement is that you must not work for a Canadian employer who has been blacklisted by the government for failure to meet specific standards. You must not have any intention to work for any Canadian employer who provides sexual dancing services, escort services, strippers, or any exotic treatment. Lastly, you must also provide all the supporting documents that are required by IRCC. So what are these documents? So let's dive into the documents. Usually the first one that I start with is a passport. You must provide a passport with a validity of at least 6 months. So that is very important. Number 2, the second document, you must also provide 2 passport sized photographs which were recently taken. So it must not be older than 6 months. You must also provide certificate of your academic achievements. Very important. Also provide professional credentials including your work experience. Very important. You must provide evidence of enough funds. Remember, we needed proof of funds, so we must provide evidence of enough funds as per the list that I showed you of the number of family members that will be accompanying you to Canada. So provide that proof. Usually they take bank statements, so however you can provide that, they need proof of that, which is very important. Medical examinations must only be carried out in licensed hospitals and clinics. So if you have a report from a non-licensed hospital or clinic, they probably will not accept that. And usually Canada has got a list of licensed clinics and hospitals that you can do this test at. in different countries. So also check with the IRCC website to see if they have a clinic in your country, or if your hospital is licensed to carry out these medical tests. And lastly, you must also be willing to pay the application fee, which for a work permit is 155 Canadian dollars. Tunaelewana? I think so. I think so far tuko pamoja. Okay, so last but not least, what do? Let's see how to apply. Okay, so there has been lots of changes to travel or move to Canada due to the pandemic, and so there's an eligibility criteria that you need to check if you would be allowed to come into Canada. So by answering a few questions, I will leave a link to the website where you can actually answer those questions to see if you are eligible. Pretty much they're asking if you have been vaccinated and if before traveling you have done a PCR test. So yeah, those are the type of questions trying to protect the Canadian population. So other than that, we need to also check for our eligibility, and so by answering a few questions. So let me take you to that website so that we can do that together. So how do you apply for a Canadian work permit? Due to COVID-19, most applicants now need to apply online for a work permit. Answer a few questions to find out how to apply. Where are you applying from? Are you applying from outside Canada, or are you applying from within Canada or at the port of entry? Let's say you are applying from outside Canada. Even if your work permit application is approved, you can only travel to Canada if you are exempt from COVID-19 travel restrictions. In most cases, you must qualify as a fully vaccinated traveler. So yeah, that's what I was telling you about. They just want to check if you're fully vaccinated. So you also must check if you are qualified. So online applications from Kenya. Before you apply online, make sure you have the instruction guide. So they are even giving you an instruction guide. So you have to gather documents, fill out the forms, pay the fees, and then submit the application. You need a checklist, a document checklist, just to help you know exactly which documents you're going to use for application, and you can do that online. Just download and fill them online. So this document checklist is always important to also upload it in your online portal, and then also just make sure you go through it one by one to make sure that all the documents have been filled and uploaded. So these are the forms that must be completed, signed, and dated. But when you're applying online, you don't have to sign them, okay? So application for work permit made outside Canada, which is IMM 1295. You also need family information, which is all your dependents or all your family members who are accompanying you to Canada. And yeah, must be completed by those 18 years or older, or a minor traveling alone to Canada. You must complete the family information. Yeah, so the family information form is IMM 5707. And then you also need a statutory declaration of common law union. So if you had a common law partner, you also need to fill IMM 5409. And then use of representatives. So this is optional. Use this if you are only letting a representative act on your behalf. And Canadian IRCC have got a list of representatives that you can approach. And of course, this representative, you have to pay them. It's like they are sort of go-betweens, or like lawyers that help you fill the documents and apply online. Honestly, these things are easy to do. I did mine pass alone, or like myself on my computer. You just go through this checklist and you're done. Like just fill them, upload them, submit, pay online, and that's it. But if you're not confident enough, or if you're busy, or for whatever reason you need a representative, then fill the IMM 5076. And then there's an authority to release personal information to designated individual. So IMM 5475. Only complete this if you authorize IRCC and the Canadian Border Services Agency to release information from your case file to someone other than yourself. Those are actually the documents that you need to, the forms, not documents, the forms that you need to download and fill in together with sorry, I'm just going back, together with the checklist. After you create an account, then it will lead you to where you can apply for the work permit and wait for your results, and hopefully it is approved. So guys, Thank you so much. That was a short video. I don't know if it's short or long, but I was just trying to help you out to see through how you can apply for a work permit, because people have been asking me that in my inbox. So yeah, that's how to apply for a Canadian work permit. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for always watching my videos. If you have any question, comment on the comment section. Leave it on the comment sections, or inbox me, DM me. I will answer those questions. So if you like it, subscribe it, guys. Okay, bye, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.